Anne again from Thread Garden, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I have a few work in progresses and I thought it'd be fun to share some with you with a weekly roundup. I have a few projects on the go. I think it's because I'm a busy person and I sometimes get bored on the same project, so I like moving around between lots and lots of projects. Well, let's get started. First up, I want to share with you a project I've been doing for about 6 weeks, and it's part of the series from Carriage House Samplings. Have you heard of Hawk Run Hollow? It's a special village, and there are several samplers in it, including this one called The Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. I've also got a pattern called Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, and there are many other patterns in this series. And the Shores is just one of them, and I particularly was delighted with it because I love this ship in the centre. I think the marine theme is a fabulous theme and look beautiful on my wall. There are 12 blocks and I've started on the top left. Here it is. This is the first block called Light the Way, Come What May. And I'm about 2/3 of the way through. I've done the lighthouse, half of the water, some of the rocks, and I've written Light the Way. I've still got the sun to do. I'm doing it on a Belfast linen. It's 32 count. I think it's called Antique Ivory from memory. The Hawk Run Hollow series was recommended to be done on a 36 or a 40 count, but I struggled to do that without using a frame. And most of the stitching I do is in front of the television in the evening, and I just want to sit on the couch and put my feet up, and I find working with a frame really difficult, just sitting on my couch. So I've chosen to do it in a larger count. It just makes it easier stitching. I don't have to worry about magnifying the linen so that I can see where the holes are. But I am loving it. The colours are beautiful. Now, there was a choice to do it in either specialty threads or DMC, and I've chosen the DMC version. There are a lot of threads in this pattern, and in Australia, some of the threads can cost about $8 per skein. I didn't go with the fabric either in the background that was recommended, partly because in Australia it was tricky to get, and I'm delighted with this backing fabric. I hope you enjoy seeing this one and you'll watch it come alive. Next up, I want to share with you progress on my Bothy Threads Cut Thru castle. This was featured in my first video, and I had some progress in the King's Chamber room. I'll hold that up to the camera. I'm delighted to tell you I finished the first page and I've started doing the back stitching. So here it is. This is the King's Chamber. I've started the next page up and starting to build the structure of the castle. And I've stitched into the den, which holds the dragon, and you can just see the dragon starting to make an appearance. Last night I started the back stitching for the king, and I think it's starting to really bring him out. And I'm going to do a bit of back stitching each night. Backstitching can be a little bit tricky. You've got to really concentrate. Make sure you pull the tension quite firmly. But it will bring this room alive. I'm having so much fun doing the Bothy Threads kits. Finally, I want to share with you a pattern from the Prairie Schooler that was developed in 2003. It's an older pattern, but I think it's an oldie and a goodie. This is an alphabet, and each letter is represented with a picture. I've chosen just to stitch one. I'm stitching with a group of friends, which is fabulous. These girls haven't done cross stitching for many years, and so I've sort of brought them back into it, which is lovely. And we've each chosen a pattern from this series, and we are all doing different. One's doing the Jack-o'-lantern, another one's doing N for nest, and I'm doing L for leaves. I would love to stitch the whole alphabet, and I'm contemplating how to do that. As I said before, I don't love stitching on 36 and 40 count linen, so I'm trying to think how I can do it on 32 count like this. This is a 32 count linen. I have heard something recently about the person who did the Prairie Schooler alphabet and made it into a book, and I think that might be fabulous. So I'm just trying to work out a way that I could possibly do that. Let me share my progress for you. Here it is. L is for leaves. Now what drew me to this is the deer, of course. And deers are very fashionable at the moment. I love the colours in it. I think the browns, the autumn tones, the greens really work together well. I'm actually going to lighten the colour of the L. It's meant to be in this dark rusty red colour, which is lovely, but I don't think it stands out well, and that's been a criticism